Hey guys. So sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. Was actually doing a facial because we're having a big sale starting tomorrow. And I was like, oh, I have time for a facial, and apparently it didn't. Took a little longer than I thought. So I am here today to explain, if you guys have not used the group messenger chat to drive sales, especially last minute sales, for like end of the month or end of some sort of like qualification period. If you're running for something like a trip or a bonus or recruiting or whatever, the group messenger chat inside your group is a really great way to showcase some things that people may not be seeing. My cats are going to help me. That people may not be seeing in your group. So we all know that the algorithm in your group is dependent on how much conversation you are having inside your group. If you're doing a lot of back and forth conversation in the comments, if you are directly messaging your group members, if they are interacting with you, they're all going to see your post. If that's not happening, a lot of people are not going to see your group post, and you're going to need to spend time getting that healthy. And we've talked all month about how to do that. So go back to the first Tuesday of the month and go through all of these guides. Under guides, it will be under groups. I have them all saved. So in your group, you might have to turn this feature on. So you would go into settings, and then if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, it is going to ask you if you want to add certain things like the ability to do events. You could to sell things if you wanted to. I don't recommend that because that's going to take you to Facebook Marketplace, and none of us are supposed to be selling on there. It's a conflict of our rules and community standards. So I wouldn't turn on the for sale feature unless you have your own things that you're making yourself, like crafts or something like that. But if you're selling for a company, double check with your community standards to make sure you're allowed to sell on places like Facebook Marketplace. We are not. So don't turn the group sales feature on if that's the case. But you will want to turn on chat. And then when you do a group messenger chat, you're going to do something almost like you can do sort of a chat party. And I think I have a link that Facebook explains really how to utilize this, or how they want us to utilize it. And I'll put that in the comments below. Anytime Facebook has an option for you to do something, you want to do it. The more you use Facebook's tools and Facebook's bells and whistles, the more algorithm points you get, the more, your group will get more active. Your group will start to get suggested out to other people based on if you're utilizing everything in the group and you're building a community. So part of building a community is a chat, right? And like in here, I have ask me anything. So anybody can hop in that chat, they can ask me, and it's a direct message that goes to me and everybody else who is listening. So anybody else who's reading can respond or read. And then I won't have to answer the question in a million different places all over the place. So if there's a question that somebody's asked in the comments, if you'll ask it in the chat, which is up above, everybody will see the answer, and it's a lot more valuable for everybody, and I probably won't miss it that way. So when you're doing your messenger parties, I like to start a brand new chat that has like a really great hook. So we have a flash 10% off sale, and we sell really, really exciting devices. And so you take 10% off our devices. It's a lot of money because they're not cheap. So I love to set up a chat for that, because people who have been looking at our devices are thinking about doing this. When there's a flash like 2-day 10% off sale, they'll opt into ordering that during that time. So you can use it for a flash sale. You can do it for some sort of an event that you're doing. You can create sort of almost like a party experience where everybody in the chat, you're going to put up something like every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes, you're going to put something in that chat during a window of time. You can do it like that. But I like to add everybody. Some people this gets irritating, but here's my thing. If you don't want to be in my group, if you don't want to get the best prices on my things, I want you to opt out. So I like to use add everyone, because if people hopped out of my group, it actually helps my algorithm. So if you don't want to be in my group, and if when I do add everyone, which isn't a lot, but if I do it and it irritates you and you hop out, it actually helps me. So use add everyone, use these chat functions. If they don't want to be there, they'll say, take me out, and you can take them out. They can take themselves out too. I love when people do stop in the messenger chat and you're like, stop what? Like, you're in this chat, you have to get yourself out. But you can take them out. They can take themselves out. You can delete them from the entire group based on their behavior in the chat. So if they're getting snippy in the chat, I just take them out of the whole group. Like, we don't need that kind of energy in there, right? If they don't want to be in there. But everybody in my groups opted in themselves. So when they get all upset about being in my group, I'm always like, you invited yourself here, so I'm not sure why you're upset. I do not invite people randomly to my group. They have to ask to be in my group and answer questions to get in there. So I'm like, you wanted in here, and now if you want out, get out. So I like to add everyone to my chat. That's an option. Or you can add certain people, like say, one time we had a gut health challenge, like a 30-day gut health challenge, and only the people who were on our gut health drink were in this chat. So we did it like that. So you can put certain people in here who have bought a certain product. You know, maybe they've opted into something that is like a launch or something, and you want to put them in there. I have another device that's about to launch in February, and my early people who got in there, they're all in a group chat that is just for people who have bought this device early, so that we can make sure they use it correctly and get before and after pictures and all the things so that they can start selling the device when they're ready. So you can organize it how you want to. It could be for a specific product. It could be for a specific time period. It could be like a party type situation where you're going to do like a holiday sales event in a group chat. It could be like that. You can go live. I think you can go live in the group chat. No, you can't go live in there, but you can create a video of you, like record a video on your phone. And if it's not too long, you can share that in your live. You can put links in there, like shopping links in there. You, of course, back and forth conversations. You could do a group call, which I don't recommend that one, because if you invite everybody and anytime that group call happens, people are like, why are people calling my phone? But you can do a live video chat in there. You can hit the video function of call, and you can go into a video chat where anybody who wants to join can hop on the video call and join you. In fact, when I do my power hour with you guys, I'll do it in a group chat on here, because then I can go live and then you guys can pop in live, and it's almost like a live Zoom. So you can see and everybody can interact and they can talk and back and forth or whatever. That's the way I do my trainings too, is I do them in Messenger, 3-way or 4-way with my uplines and my downlines. So the group chat, if you haven't used it, play around with it. It's so much fun. Anytime I have some last minute sales to get rid of, or if I have volume that I need to get rid of at the end of the year, I love to do like an end of the year blowout, because if you don't have to hold volume in my company, but I get volume at a really discounted rate, and I pass that savings on to my customers when I want something at a discount. I get it for everybody, and we all share the discount. And so I always have stuff at the end of the year. And if you are into the taxes, you got to sell that stuff by the end of the year. Then you have to inventory it, and it has to roll over to the next year. So at the end of the year, I'll do like a blowout, and I'll do it in a group chat. And anybody who wants information in that, can ask questions and get the link right there. And I showcase what I have and do pictures and pricing and all of that. It's just a way to get your information into their inbox on Messenger. So if you haven't utilized that group chat function, I highly, highly recommend it. It's a great way to showcase something. I do like to delete the chat and start a new one every time I have like a different sale or a different event, or if I want it to be a different topic. And you can have several. So if you have a group, like I do skin, health, and wellness, sometimes I'm talking about menopause. Sometimes I'm talking about, skincare. You could have a different chat for each one if you wanted your customers to be able to ask you specific questions. It's a really great way to connect if you have a lot of people, like I have a lot of people in all of my groups that are not friends with me. So if I sent them a message directly, one message, they probably won't see that because they're not friends with me. And a lot of people will opt into my group through a reel. And sometimes they have a Facebook page where I can't even send them a friend request. So it doesn't matter how many messages I send them, they're never going to see it because they don't know how to check that, that other little inbox that you have, which is called message requests. And if you don't know how to check that, then you're never going to see my message if we're not friends. So if you have a lot of people opting into your groups through Reels, or people are sharing your group, like say you do a grow the group inside and you have friends who are like inviting a bunch of friends, those kind of people, if you want to message them directly, the group messenger chat's going to be the best way. So when I do get sales from people who I'm not friends with, it's usually through a group messenger chat, because that's the only way they can really communicate with me. Is through that group message, because we're not friends. So they see it because they've been alerted by the group and they're in the group. But because we're not friends, if I sent them a direct message, they wouldn't see it. I hope that makes sense to you. It's very irritating, this part of Facebook where you can't reach out to people. I have people who actually comment on my pinned post on Facebook asking me to send them information, and I still cannot send them information because we're not friends. So you have to have a workaround for all of this. Facebook's trying to make sure we aren't spamming, but when somebody's asking me for information and I still can't send it, it's a pain in the butt. So let me know down below if you're using the group chat already. Okay, so maybe do a number 1 if you use the group chat already. Do a number 2 if you had no idea about the group chat. And then do a number 3 if you've had success with the group chat, and then say what you're doing. Like, how are you doing? Are you doing a party? Are you doing it for just a product? Are you doing it as an update? Is it like an ongoing chat that happens? Like, tell me a little bit about how you're using your chat, because I'd love to learn from everybody else, how you're using your group chats, how they're going, and then what you've kind of learned as you've used it. And then tell me down below, you guys, I'm setting trainings for January. I think in January, we're going to talk about goal setting and recruiting. Those are the 2 biggest topics in January. Let me know what your questions are surrounding goal setting and recruiting, anything specific that you need to know about, because I'm working on topics for the 8 trainings that I'll do in January. And then I am planning on doing a power hour, maybe once a week, right here in this group. And I'm trying to decide, should I do it during the weekday, in the evening, or should I do it on a weekend, like in the morning, like coffee? You know, because I know a lot of you guys are still working full-time jobs, and I want you to be able to get on the power hour. I mean, you could go back and re-listen. I don't think I'm not going to do it as a Zoom, so you won't be able to re-listen. You'll actually have to jump on. So let me know when you think you might be able to utilize a power hour. I'm thinking like Saturday mornings at like 10 a.m. Eastern. Grab coffee, sit down, spend an hour. How I work my DMO. So on the weekends is when I kind of get caught up. So during the week, I do a lot of coaching calls, onboarding, recruiting, that kind of stuff. And on the weekends, that's when I'm running my own business in my back office. I'm scheduling my posts. I'm doing my follow-ups. I am, planning, goal setting, that kind of stuff. And so that's when I'm really working. My DMO, the heaviest, is on Saturday and Sunday mornings. And so if Saturday mornings at 10 Eastern would be a good time to plan to be on, and you guys can plug that in your calendar, and it's not like if I have time, it's if you want to jump on and work your business with me for an hour. We'll see. I'll give it like maybe 4 times and see how many people utilize it. And if no one's utilizing it, I can work my team by myself. But it's kind of fun to get on and ask questions, like, how would you do this? Or how would you do that? Or I don't understand this or that I heard you on your training. I do have people often say, I wish I could just come and like sit next to you and like work my business next to you. This is that opportunity to sit. And I'm not saying that I am anything special, except for I can get a lot done in an hour. And if you're confused about how to do that, I can definitely help. So I'm thinking about doing that maybe the first Saturday in January. I do have one trip that I'll be going to our corporate office to doing some training up there. so I won't be here for one weekend. So maybe just 3 Saturdays in January, I'll do that. Tell me what times are good. 10, I'm thinking 10 Eastern. So that could be kind of early if you're a little bit more on the West Coast. Yeah, look, I'm trying to do my never eats, all you eaties. Geography was not my favorite. Anyway, you guys, I hope you are having a great end of the year. I hope you have a lot of sales and last minute orders going in. Let me know what questions you have down below and answers to the questions I had, and I will set you up for a really great January. Bye, you guys.